This is the third chapter in our digital slideshow for our curriculum guide, and this is focused on our rising 10th graders, class of 2015, and your curriculum choices. So this is the section you want to pay particularly close attention to. I'm going to walk you through the process and show you some departmental flowcharts that we've built in an intent to give you a clear sense of the curricular options and the curricular path that is open to you. But in the meantime, what's on the screen right now is the pre-registration form, and this should not look unfamiliar to you. You've filled these out in the past. But what it's got on that left-hand column, you can see by department, it's got the specific graduation requirements for grade 10. So pay particular close attention to that to make sure that you are completing the requirements or have completed them in your prior academic trimesters, just to make sure you're on the right path. And this is something you can coordinate with your advisor and your dean if necessary as well. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through by departments, and what you see here is the English department flow chart, and we're going to focus on that purple box under grade 10 obviously, and then that gray box which has all the electives that are open to you specifically in T3. All rising 10th graders will register for English 200, the individual and quest for authenticity, T1 and T2, and then choose one elective for T3 from the grade 10 and 11 elective list. Keep in mind that if you have not completed your ethical reasoning requirement, you must take that in grade 10. So if you did not do that in grade 9, you need to complete that this year. I've switched screens on you here. This is our upper school history curriculum, and again, this is divided by years, so you want to focus on that 10th grade column that's outlined in purple. All rising 10th graders will register for 20th Century World History or 20th Century World History Accelerated for T1 and T2. Your current history teacher as well as the department chair will help you make a decision as to which one is most appropriate for you. Additionally, those students who want to take AP US History in grade 11 must take Atlantic World Accelerated during T3 of grade 10. Students have the option of taking additional grade 10 electives during T3, and you can see many of those are listed down in that bottom box on this form. All right, I'm going to transfer over here to our pre-registration form, and you can see we filled it out, sample filling for English and history. This student has chosen Deal with the Devil as their trimester 3 English elective, and this is a student that would like to pursue AP US History in the 11th grade year, hence Atlantic World Accelerated as their T3 history elective. It is possible to sign up for more than one history elective in trimester 3, assuming you are meeting the other requirements. And again, that's something that your advisor and or your dean can help with. Okay, let's move forward to math. Here's the math flowchart. This is also fleshed out by year, and you can see we've added the 8th grade year on the back end just to kind of help everyone visualize the process. Rising 10th graders have 3 options depending upon their track in math. Current Algebra 1 students will register for Integrated Math 1, T1 through T3. It's a 3-trimester course. Most of our math offerings are here, with the exception of Integrated Math 2, which we'll get to now. Current Integrated Math 1 students will register for Integrated Math 2, T1 and T2, and should take a math elective T3 based on prerequisites. Most of those electives are listed at the bottom of this page, and please see the actual curriculum guide for a sense of what prerequisites are required for each course. Current Integrated Math 1 Accelerated students will register for Integrated Math 2 Accelerated, which is a 3-trimester course and does require departmental approval. Okay, back to our pre-registration form. Here you can see that this student must currently be in Integrated Math 1 because they have registered for Integrated Math 2, which is offered trimester 1 and 2, being a 2-trimester course, and they have signed up for Code Breakers. They've chosen a math elective T3, they've checked prerequisites to make sure that they're all set, and they have completed this form with that in mind. Okay, let's move forward to world languages. Students are required to complete through level 300 of one world language without interruption. All students are required to take 3 trimesters of a world language in grade 10. World languages offered in the upper school are Mandarin, French, German, Latin, and Spanish. Okay, let's move forward with our science curriculum. As you can see from the flowchart that's on your screen right now, while this is kind of broken out by grade level, it's really broken out by sequence. So you can see, looking at it, the sequence that would get you to the AP courses that are all in that right-hand column. If you're not as concerned about the trajectory to get to an AP course on the back end, you can really focus on the fact that those boxes which are shaded represent required courses. So you can see both the sequence across to get to the AP courses, but also those general science requirements. Rising 10th graders will register for atomic structure and reaction quantities, either T1 and T2 or T2 and T3, so they have to be taken in sequential trimesters. Students who are less comfortable with math may be recommended to take reaction pathways, which is more conceptual in nature. However, and this is important, students who plan on taking AP biology, AP chemistry, or perhaps AP chemistry in conjunction with several chemistry-based applied science topics must take reaction quantities rather than reaction pathways. Students who take reaction pathways may also take reaction quantities at a later time to satisfy this requirement. Other applied science topics can be taken in grade 10 and or kinematics if the student meets the mathematics requirement. Electricity and magnetism must be taken by the end of grade 10. Kinematics and dynamics, astrophysics, nuclear science, marine ecology, Little Cayman Research Center trip, women in engineering, physics of design, and astronomy are offered during Elliott Summer Academy. Please consult the curriculum guide for a more specific sense of what those look like. Additionally, health must be taken in either grade 10 or grade 11 if the student has not taken it in grade 9. Okay, so we're back to our pre-registration form, and as you can see, just as a sample, we filled out the world language row with Latin 300. So this student will have, at the end of this year, completed their world language requirement. You can also see that we filled out the science row, and we've got atomic structures and reaction quantities in back-to-back trimesters as is required, and then we've got an applied science elective in trimester 3. Now, by completing reaction quantities, this student will have maintained their ability to take AP chemistry on the back end if they so desire. All right, moving on to our arts department here, I'm going to show you two different slides. One shows the progression of our visual arts courses, and the other one's going to show you the progression of the performing arts courses. And keep in mind, one of the things that you need to do as you're going through this registration process is figure out which graduation requirements you have yet to meet. Depending upon what art courses you took in your freshman year, you might have as many as 6 trimesters of art still to complete. So here's our visual art, and I'm going to flip over now so that you can see our performing arts breakdown of courses. Keep in mind that all students are required to take 6 trimesters of art over the course of 4 years in the upper school. Choices vary between visual and performing arts and are sequential based on prerequisites. Please discuss with your advisor if you have any questions about this. Now I'm going to add one more slide on here. We're going to go back to the pre-registration form, and you can see here that we've added not just arts with Digital Eye, but we've also added our athletics requirements. We've checked on that left-hand side that we completed ethics during 9th grade. Also E&M in the science department, we're confirming that we completed that in 9th grade because that needs to be completed by the end of 10th grade. And down below in that trimester 2 column, we have added health as a second trimester course to satisfy our graduation requirement in health. So you can see that we've added on here so that we have enough courses. We've met that minimum of 5 courses per trimester. We've added our sports to ensure that we are completing our sports requirement. Remember that students are required to participate in sports 2 trimesters during grade 10. Team sports, essential fitness program, and the independent sports option can satisfy this athletic requirement. And again, if you have any questions, see the curriculum guide for more specific details. All right, so this should complete our Chapter 3 Grade 10 curriculum overview.